So, breaking news update for all of you folks just coming in. This has been confirmed by India's head coach Rahul Dravid himself. India will be without the services of one KL Rahul for both the group stage games of the Asia Cup 2023. That means that KL Rahul, who was already a doubt for the first game against Pakistan, will now also be out of the second and final group stage game that will be taking place against Nepal as well. Now, you remember that during the press conference wherein India's Asia Cup squad was announced, which was of course helmed by chairman of selectors AajTak as well as Indian skipper Rohit Sharma. At that point, Agarkar had confirmed that KL Rahul had in fact sustained a fresh niggle. It had nothing to do with the injury that he had originally been ruled out for from the IPL and thereafter. But he had picked up a fresh niggle, and unfortunately, it did seem like he may or may not be. He was racing against time to be fit for the first game of the Asia Cup. Unfortunately, it's now been confirmed that due to that niggle, he will not be part of both the first two games, and there is no guarantee or surety as to whether or not he'd be available for some of the other games as well. Because according to what Rahul Dravid said, he said that look, we will take it forward from there. We'll reassess after the group stage games, but he will not be available for both the match against Pakistan as well as the match against Nepal. It's been confirmed that he will not be taking part in any of those matches. Now, the real question is how big a blow is this for India? It's a pretty big one because again, having KL Rahul in that squad or having him back fully fit and getting that green shit from the NCA meant that your one of your major problem areas, which is of course your number 5 spot as well as a wicket keeper batsman who could bat there, was pretty much resolved. Rahul, we know his form in certain formats has been patchy. He was dropped from the test team as well as the T20 side, but generally speaking in ODI cricket, he's been putting in a few good performances. He had a good match-winning knock against Sri Lanka earlier this year, as well as of course against Australia as well, where he formed a good partnership with Ravindra Jadeja. But the fact that he's still not fully fit, well, it's a massive concern because again, and it seems to happen a lot with KL. You'd remember even in 2022, it was in fact, let's say, his injury that ended up derailing it. And then not just on top of that, he ended up having multiple setbacks all at once. You remember he did, end up getting ruled out for a sports hernia and then ended up contracting COVID. That derailed his comeback significantly more. And he had to kind of, wait and get back into rhythm. And he was nowhere close to rhythm when, of course, the T20 World Cup came about. He was not in good shape at all, and it does seem like you're risking that happening once again. It seems like a situation or a case of deja vu all over again. As for who exactly could be that person who, let's say, fills in that slot at number 5, it could very well be Ishan Kishan, because of course Ishan Kishan has been in decent enough form, albeit playing as an opener, which is a whole different role. But he has two advantages. One, he's a left-hander who can, left-hander, and that, truth be told, is something that India sorely lacks in the middle order. The other advantage is, of course, that he would provide you. He's been in some form. I mean, it's not much of a justification, but he has been putting up runs, even though it's at a very different batting position. So it does seem very likely that the team might very well go with an Ishan Kishan in that spot rather than look to, I don't know. As a lot of people in the comments are mentioning that you have Sanju Samson as an option, and that's correct. But Sanju's who's only been there or taken as a reserve player. So unless they feel that, or unless they have no faith whatsoever in Ishan Kishan's ability to play in the middle order, and they know that KL will not in fact be available, will they probably call up Sanju? So I don't know whether or not Sanju Samson will get a look in. At the moment, I think it's safe to say that Ishan Kishan would probably be the favorite to, take up that slot. Albeit, even though we know that, he's not really a middle order batter. I mean, yes, he's batted in the middle order in the past for Mumbai Indians, but again, different format. It's a very different game in ODIs, where Ishan Kishan tends to struggle is when it comes to strike rotation. We know his strike rotation is a little bit of a problem, and, that can be a problem considering in ODI cricket, you don't score most of your runs through boundaries. You have to rotate the strike, you have to run the hard singles, you have to convert the ones to twos. And as Sportsfan points out that maybe Ishan opens and someone else plays in the middle order, entirely possible, but again, you're pretty much ruining a set batting lineup if you do that. But that seems to be the only option. There are only two good options here. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but what we do know is that there is going to be no KL Rahul for the first two games. He won't be playing against Pakistan and he won't be playing against Nepal. Will he be playing the games after that? That's truth be told anyone's guess, but we'll keep you updated, and of course we'll bring you more snippets from what was happening in Rahul Dravid's press conference as well. For now though, I'll take your leave. Thank you guys for joining us. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tap the bell icon, leave us a comment. Do you think KL Rahul will be a big miss? You can also follow us across social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTech app, and if you're already on the channel, go right ahead and check out some other videos we've posted. For now, from my side though, it's goodbye, but stay tuned for more.